What's up, everybody? I'm Mimi.
I'm Simone.
And here we have Adam Oof of the Aaron Kirman Group. And if you know anything about real estate, you know that AKG is the fucking pinnacle.
Let's go.
So Adam.
Yes.
What's up?
Hi, ladies. How are you?
So good. How are you?
So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm happy just to look at you.
I haven't seen you in so long.
I know. It's been a minute. It's been too long.
How do you guys know each other?
We met through a mutual friend.
Yeah, a mutual friend.
Love that.
And then we had a wild night at Justin Queso's full of dancing and debauchery.
Yeah,
God, I love that.
that was a while ago.
That was a while. It was 2021. It was like right when we were like first able to be like let outside and everything.
I think there was a lot of pent up sort of party inside of us. You know, we wanted to go and enjoy ourselves.
Oh yeah, and that we did.
That we did for sure. Yes,
for sure. So
here for it.
Adam is in West Hollywood Bay. So how do you like living there?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if you know this or not. I just moved over to Marina Del Rey.
Stop.
Yes, I was in West Hollywood for about 18 years, and I decided to make the move to Marina Del Rey.
Why?
I just felt like I wanted a different type of a home lifestyle. And I really fell in love with the West Side. Started to do a lot of business deals there. My sister lives there. My family did live there. And I just really fell in love with the West Side. So decided to make the move about 6 months ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I definitely saw you like probably a month before that. I had no idea. Well, now I know. Okay. So
The West Side's a vibe, by the way.
Yeah.
the
it is a
West
vibe.
Side is a vibe, but you know, like the whole the whole thing about if you cross over the 405, like it's so hard to come back to the other side.
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that because trying to get my friends to come visit me now is kind of a mission, even though I try to tell them it takes, once you do it a couple times, it's really not that far.
It's really not that bad.
It's all about the timing on when you go, really. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and when you're there, they're like, wow, this is so fun. Look at all these new places. And the West Side has really grown a lot.
And also mad cuties.
Yeah. Mad cuties for sure.
I'm like, okay, surfer boys,
Yeah.
let's go. I love the beach too. Let's make out.
So are the guys cuter on the West Side versus
yeah.
here?
I think they are. I
too.
mean, you got West Hollywood has undoubtedly one of the most beautiful people in the world. But the West Side, I think the energy and the culture is just so much different. And I think I vibe with that better, especially at the time or the place in my life I am today. So
Well, we gotta come see you then.
please come anytime.
We will. We will come anytime.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Please. Well, tell us about how you got started in real estate and that whole journey.
Absolutely. So, I always tell everyone that it wasn't an organic situation where someone came to me, or I'm sorry, not organic. It wasn't a situation where someone came to me and said, you should do real estate or you would be good at this. I was going to school down in Palos Verdes, actually, and I was commuting up as a commuter student. And as soon as I decided that I really loved LA, I switched colleges and I decided to go to college up in Santa Monica at Santa Monica City. Met a lot of friends and started going out to some really fun after parties and events. And I was going to these like massive houses, beautiful mansions in the Hollywood Hills. And everybody would be like partying in the kitchen, drinking. And there was like a running joke, like, where's Adam, right? And I would be just like exploring the house.
I love it.
And some people, some of the owners of the houses didn't really like that, but some people were like, that's fine, let him look around. And I like loved just like experiencing this lifestyle. And so I say that I got into real estate because I really wanted to be a part of creating a lifestyle for somebody. And if somebody wanted a unique property or they wanted to live somewhere and they wanted a certain type of a house or whatever, like I just love helping someone find that lifestyle for themselves.
That's amazing.
So-
which is like perfect for you to do that then,
Yeah.
Because like I feel like a lot of them like is either like they really care and they're passionate about it, or they're like, yo, I want this fucking deal.
Yeah.
Let's go. But a lot of my friends that do it too, like, or even that buy as well, they can feel if somebody is like genuinely like, oh, I remember that you like this kind of like tile or this kind of thing, when others is just like, I feel like you definitely need to have like that kind of personality to be like somebody trusts you.
Real estate
in
is
that
a
way.
relationship business. So not only relationships with your clients, but also relationships with like agents. So having a good relationship with like as many agents as possible you can is the best, because when you're in a deal, those agents will know you and they'll know that you're going to close, or you're going to make sure that your client does what it takes to close. And so you'll have a better chance of, hopefully, depending on your offer, of course,
right,
hopefully them choosing you for the sale.
So would you say that it's better to have relationship building and like networking skills that are genuine and authentic, or salesmanship skills when it comes to a career in real estate?
I mean, you definitely need to have both. But I think that relationships and relationship building is the building block and the number one thing you need to have. Right. Because once you have that and you get into deals, you're going to start learning from real life experience. Salesmanship, people can smell through salesmanship, you know, and people will not want to work with you if you're just a salesy person, you know, and you're not going to be able to get through the obstacles of the deal a lot of the times if your main MO goal is just to sell the house. You want to make sure that you have everything, you know, in a row that you need to do. So
I feel like that's pressure for sure.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, if you're a genuine person, and like you said, trial and error, I'm sure it takes to like build and meet them. Yeah.
I mean, I had some fantastic mentors in real estate, but still, it took me a long time to get to where I am today. And I'm very thankful that I work with the group I'm in now. I absolutely love working with Aaron. He's such an amazing mentor, and I'm so blessed to work with a team like him.
How long have you been with them?
So I've been with him for about 5 years now.
Okay,
4.5, 5 years. Yeah. So before, I was working with a friend of mine's mom, Valerie Fitzgerald. She was amazing. She was my first team that I worked for at Coldwell Banker.
Nice.
And still today, she's a huge heavy hitter in the game. After Valerie, I decided to move over to Compass and worked with another team. And loved Compass's culture. Aaron had come over to Compass because Compass actually purchased Pacific Union, which is the company Aaron was with.
Oh, okay.
And then I had a friend working with Aaron, and they actually said, you know, we'd love to have you come over. And so I went over for an interview, and I got recruited.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah, it was great. And I mean, my business has scaled tremendously since I've worked with his team. So
that's amazing.
You've been there 5 years, so like that's quite a long time, because, you know, there is, at least I've seen, because I've worked a little bit in real estate too as an assistant.
Yeah.
At a small boutique firm like over on the west side. But you'll see a lot of agents jump from one agency to the other. And like, you know, I'll go on Instagram and I'll see, you know, someone I know that I thought was with the agency, okay, and now they're with Oppenheimer Group, or, you know, vice versa, or just anything, you know, like, but it just shows like longevity, and, you know, I think it's awesome that you've been with Aaron Kirman for 5 years.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is that it's not a bad thing to jump around and figure out where you fit best, honestly, because you got to figure out who you vibe with, what groups you like, the team members, the whole shebang. And if you have to jump around a couple times, that's fine. But what I don't like is when agents don't have loyalty so much to their team, and they kind of jump around like every couple of years because of the fact that, oh, well, they're going to give me better this, or they're going to give me better that. You just got to work really, really hard, and no matter what, you're going to get what you want on the team. You know what I mean? Like Aaron, for example, he is so great about helping us all out, but he makes us work really, really hard, and he gives us everything at our fingertips to be successful.
Exactly. Here are the tools, but it's on you to build them. Here are the tools, but you
need to go and do it.
Fuck yeah. I love that. Sorry, I was going to ask really quick. How long did it take you to get like your first, like, you know, your big sale?
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so it's funny you asked me that. Going into real estate, I had networked my butt off. Going out in Hollywood, going to all the best events, parties, meeting the most amazing people, directors, actors, celebrities. Networking and becoming friends with a lot of these people. My misconception about real estate was going into it saying, oh, I have such a great Rolodex of these people. I'm going to make so much money. They're all going to want to work with me.
Yeah.
I had a very rude awakening, because as soon as I did, you know, I would say less than 75% would want me to actually work with them, because they put you in like a friend box, right?
Right.
And they also know that you're new to the business. So real estate typically is people's most expensive investment that they have.
For sure.
For most people, you know? So no one's just going to hand me over a $20 million listing.
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm doing, you know? So it took a good 10 to 12 years before someone really said, 10 to 12 years before those really major power players that had the money to spend would actually then come to me and say, hey, you know what? We've seen what you've been doing. Now we want to start working with you.
Oh, I love that. So they noticed that.
Yeah, they followed my career. We stayed friends, obviously, a lot of them.
Oh, true, because
Yeah, and just people that I knew. And it's just about proving yourself in life in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, of course, some people will get lucky and get some, some listing that'll help them out, or, a family member or whatever it may be. But besides that, I worked really hard, so.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Like these little hussies that they're wearing like these cute little outfits. Like I feel like, I don't know if this is a stigma or not, but I feel like I've noticed in the past, 10 years that like, especially with women, like that's kind of the other, they not that they think it's like a fallback and they don't need to work, but they're like, oh, I'm into real estate because I'm like pretty and I can make this happen, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I'll see these outfits, I'm like, girl, this is what you're wearing to a showing? Okay, bet, cool.
It's funny. I mean, obviously, everyone thinks that real estate is like this glamorous job. It is like anything but that, to be honest with you. I mean, all the shows that you see on TV is just like a snippet of like what the business really is. And of course, that's all entertainment too. You know what I mean? Everyone has to remember that. And so it's a grimy job. It's hard, and you have to be good at what you do. And again, have great relationships, know what you're talking about, be educated in the business, and be able to close your deal.
Yeah, you gotta go into these houses. They may have like black mold or infested with something. Even the multi-million-dollar homes. You got to get your hands dirty sometimes as an agent.
Exactly.
Be there for the inspections, and
I know there's a lot that goes into it. But if you know what you're doing, like I said, and you're passionate about the job and not just about making money, then you'll do well.
It'll come, yeah.
So do you feel like there's an oversaturation of real estate agents now, that maybe they're like out of work actors or maybe writers now that are writers strike, they're like, oh, you know what? I should get my real estate license. And what's your take on that? Because it just seems to be like you've been in the game a long time, but you've got all these new people coming in.
And you know what? I'm all about people getting their license if they feel like they really love real estate and want to do it. But that is an understatement. The business is way oversaturated. I mean, everyone's moms, brothers, dogs, cats, hamsters, everyone has a license. You know what I mean? So when you're out there networking and meeting people, you really, really got to gain confidence in people, because you walk down the street, you'll probably pass 30 realtors in 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
I mean? Especially if you're in the saturated areas like West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, all those, we call it Realtor Row in Beverly Hills. Like,
oh my God, I love
Cannon,
it. I'm dying.
So yeah.
That's funny. On Cannon. Yeah, they are fucking around, dude.
Yeah.
They're just out there on these streets.
Yeah, it's definitely oversaturated. You got to, and also to that point, you need to stand out, right? You need to stand out in a specific way. I myself am still figuring out how I'm trying to market myself to stand out. But again, it's a learning process, You're
like, just talk to me for 5 minutes and we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. What do you think that your X factor is, though, when it comes to real estate?
That's a great question. My X factor, I think my ability to be able to connect with my clientele and really understand what it is that they want, and also helping out couples or people that may have completely different ideas of what they want, and coming together and really getting to the point of what we should be, showing them, basically. A lot of the times people say, well, this is what I want, this is where I want to go. And I try to ask them, like, well, why is it that you want to go there? Tell me why you want to go there. Oh, I don't know. Well, would you consider this? Oh, I don't think so. And if I show them other things, a lot of the times they love it, So being able to think outside the box and saying, I know that they're telling me this, but what is it? Why are they telling me this? You know what I mean? Like, what are their life goals? What do they have children? Like, why do they think they want to be there? And then thinking, well, they could also actually be good here. And showing them things that they don't even think they would ever like,
That would be impressive as fuck to like have that happen. Like you're set on something, because how people are, even like when you're buying a car or whatever you're doing, you're set on this, I want this shit today. Like even when I was getting my car, like the other day, I was like, I'm putting nothing down, this, that, and the third. And and then, the compromisation, and they go back and forth, to the point where I'm like, let me go back there. Let me talk to whoever the fuck is back there. But I feel like that's really cool that you're like, listen, I'm a professional. I will make this happen for you. And I feel like that's a perfect way to build a relationship right there, is like, man, this guy really like got us in a place that we would have never known. Because at the end of the day, we don't fucking know. Like, an area that you think will be like great for someone we wouldn't even think of. There's so many little nooks in LA
all
that
over.
people don't even realize. They just like broad. It's just like, okay, Silver Lake, this, but there's more like, in between.
There's sub neighborhoods.
Exactly.
There's so many different aspects of this business. That also is important to make sure that it's also, you want to make them feel like it was kind of their idea too. You know
Love
what I mean?
That is a profession. That's hard to do.
And not in in a way where it's like, well, let's show you this. I think this might be something that you'd be interested in, And if not, no problem. Mm-hmm. And then, you show them something and then they start to understand what you're saying and what you're showing them. And then they build their own idea as far as, okay, yeah. And then you show them different houses and they find the one that they want,
Mm-hmm.
So
what has been your hardest neighborhood in LA to sort of sell? And your easiest neighborhood?
I don't really, again, that's a great question. I don't think it's about the neighborhood per se. There's challenges in all types of neighborhoods because there's issues in all types of neighborhoods,
right. Where have you sold the most? Like what areas kind of like, you're like, bitch, I know every nook and crane here and people always like buy in this area. Like what's like the pop-in like place that you have been in?
When I first started, I really, really wanted to work in the Hollywood Hills, obviously, because that's where I fell in love with real estate.
Okay.
And I think I've sold the most around West Hollywood proper and Hollywood Hills is where I've really sold the most. But I've done a lot of business on the West Side too. Venice, Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, and I love it. So, I asked Aaron too. I was like, should I be focusing on one place?
Right.
And he always told me, he's like, no, sell everywhere. Learn every neighborhood, learn as much as you can. And I've taken that to heart because I don't want to be that person who just goes, oh, I only work West Hollywood. Why?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Why? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
I've lived in LA for over 20 some years. I know a lot about the city and I'm learning more every day. And so I love to help people. Even if somebody wants to go in the Valley, I'm happy to do that too,
Mm-hmm. That's such a thing too. It's always referring to the Valley. You know what I mean? We could go to fucking burrito over here, but the Valley, it's like, okay, I guess I'll fucking do the Valley today.
Yeah.
But you know what? But even in the Valley, further out, a lot of even celebrities, people like that, Encino, Tarzana, that is a
Valley
whole fucking
Village
thing.
is like a
that's
hot
the most popular place right now.
Yeah.
So anywhere in the Valley, I have so many investors that want to buy in those areas. Exactly.
Just want to duck off.
Woodland Hills, Tarzana,
Encino,
also great family neighborhoods, and it's been gentrified so nicely too.
That's true.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Somebody
got it, girl.
find a house for me, for us.
Find a husband. Yeah, we can just all live together.
Yeah, for sure.
In
Definitely.
a commune and Tarzana.
A little bit all that. Yeah.
We get some chickens.
Trying to share,
I don't know. There's
sweetie.
some farm. Well, we don't have to share. We can
Like a
find
self-sustainable property is what you're looking for?
Yeah, we're looking for a self-sustaining property.
Okay.
Well, maybe a little bit of doomsday prepping going on.
Okay, we get you out to maybe Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it. Or maybe container home.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of those, but they're cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that?
Container homes.
It's a very popular trend right now where people are buying these container homes and just plopping them on
campy,
like a shipping container
on lots. Basically, you have to obviously build the structure on the bottom, but
sounds like a lot.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So there's the whole thing. It's kind of like an old tale that millennials are not going to be able to buy a home because of our love of iced coffee and avocado toast.
Wait, what the fuck did you hear this?
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a
Millennials
thing.
are just spending too much money on frivolous things and not
that's-
saving.
yeah, right.
And, they're like hype beasts and anything that's
Oh my
popular on
God.
TikTok or Instagram, they'll buy.
But
they just won't save for a home, basically.
Do you think that, to challenge that, is it even possible? Even if millennials and Gen Z, even if we weren't buying these things with the way housing prices are now, does it even matter? Or should we just live our best life and drink, our $9 vanilla latte from Erewhon and just deal with it?
it's
Or
more
do we
than
need
$9
to
there.
Yeah,
put
I
the
literally
money
went to
the home?
Erewhon and got a $19 latte the other day.
19.
What
I was
in it?
shook. I was shook. I'll get to that. I'll get to the answer to that
Okay,
question.
did they
but
give you a line,
literally,
a bump with it, or
I
what?
ordered an oat milk latte, a large oat milk latte, and a large coconut milk latte. And they were like, that'll be $18.75 or whatever it was. And I just laughed and paid.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after they gave me my latte, I was like, I just got to ask this guy the question.
You have to.
So I went back and I was like, why is this latte almost $19? And, the barista was like, well, we have our house-made coconut milk and it's pressed and churned and da-da-da-da by whoever in the back. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, and because the coconut milk was a $9 or $8 upcharge. That's what it was.
Well, if they're like literally doing it like that, okay, that makes sense. It has to be all, organic or from scratch, whatever the fuck.
Is there some Amish bitch in the back making it?
Like, do you have Xanax?
Who knows? But
What the?
I won't be getting any coconut milk lattes from Erewhon anymore.
No, fuck that.
Ew.
I wanted to ask this question too, because my friend, shout out to Alex Lunn, love you to death. She recently became an agent for Compass, and she started as an assistant. Because she went to Emerson in Boston. So I forgot the names. I think there are a couple. But they brought her in, and like as she was assisting, like they like threw her a couple bones, like showing like how to do showings and stuff like that. And she kind of learned on the go. So when she was getting it, she was ready. But my question is, say, you're trying to like sell whatever. How is it difficult / competitive when like somebody else, like whether it's within your, like, because I feel like I've seen like within the same agency, people are like, oh, well, I showed that house to somebody too. And it's just like, is that okay? Is that a thing? Like, or
I'm not really understanding your question.
I'm saying like, can two people that have two different clients that want the same house, like, is that ever a thing?
Yeah, of course. That happens a lot.
I know, but is that awkward? Like you guys are in the same fucking...
No, because the thing is that you have to let your clients know that if you're going to be submitting an offer for both of them, that you're going to be doing that. You just have to disclose everything. And a lot of the times for newer agents, we recommend that you grab like a teammate or someone on your team, or grab your office manager to basically help you out with that, so that there's no sort of like issues. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, I've done it before. You just have to you have to just disclose.
Right.
You don't disclose obviously the details, but you let them know you're going to be representing someone else as well, who's also offering on the house.
Yeah. That'd be like pressure, like going back and forth, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Well, think about it though, in like a deal, you're going to have other people from other agencies looking at the house too. So it's just like a free for all.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're going to have people from Compass, you're going to have people from Oppenheimer, you're going to have people from Coldwell Banker, you're going to have people da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to submit that deal.
Yeah.
And then they're all trying to submit that deal, and they're all going to be, writing letters, maybe like, because a friend of mine, she's trying to buy a house, right?
Yes.
And she's saved up so much money where she has enough to put down to get like a $1.5 million home. Yeah. As like a 32-year-old female in LA.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and she
I'm
just
34.
keeps. I know. And she keeps getting just beaten down. Or she wrote like a letter, just basically like making her appeal, just how hard she's worked, her entire life, and that kind of thing. And she still gets shut down because there's an outside buyer from a foreign country coming in and just plunking down $2 million and or $500,000 over asking.
Yeah, and that good for her, by the way. Congratulations to her. And that price point is an entry-level price point.
Exactly.
So everybody wants a house between $1 to $2 million. I
was like, that still exists, because I feel like...
Yeah, and so what I like to tell my clients that are in that sort of price point is we got to look lower. So we had to look at something that's like 700,000,
like a condo,
750, and then we offer either more or we have more leverage, because she's going to be capped out and she's not going to be able to pay more than whatever her approval letter was for.
Yeah.
In this current market, because it is a seller's market, because the inventory is so low. When
do you think it's going to become a buyer's market?
Let's just hope let's just hope soon. I think that in the next year or so, hopefully interest rates will start coming down. I'm praying. So that, and then on top of that, more inventory is what we really, really, really want. So
what do you, okay. So again, like I touched on, I worked briefly in real estate and everything too. And the hot neighborhood, or the neighborhood that the boutique agency that I was working for, what they were focusing on was Westchester. But for me as an outsider, and and I'm no real estate expert, I looked at it as, they've already done what they're going to do with Westchester. I don't know if Westchester's still like the hot new place, Mar Vista, Palms, all of that. I feel like people are going to start going more east and hitting up like Lincoln Heights, El Serrano. Because if you've been out in East LA and you've seen those
it's
homes,
popping off right now. Yeah,
like West Adams area.
Yes, that's
Adams
popping
too.
off right now.
But like the hills in El Sereno, like it's just like a Hollywood Hill type of vibe.
For sure.
And the homes like are cute and modern. Like I've been up there. Do you think that people are going to start focusing less on being toward the beach and more just toward where they can just get like a beautiful view and like the best
Yeah,
feel.
again, it goes back to like speaking to your client about what is important to them, right? We go back to the point of, oh, this is what I want, but why do you want that, right?
Right.
So take them into these areas like you mentioned and say, well, why don't we show you this? You're going to get way more for your money. You're going to have a better lifestyle, and you're going to be able to do the gardening that you want to do, or you're going to be able to go on walks with your dog that you want to do.
Right.
And if they just don't want to do that, then again, then we'll take them down to a lower price point. But yeah, that's actually a great segue to that, because that's exactly what we would do.
Do you feel, have you had any experience in West Adams? Because I feel like that's going to be like the new Silver Lake, new Highland Park.
Yeah, I had a friend had a house there, and I have a couple people that I know that have had investments there. I don't have as much experience in that area, but I'm definitely checking it out for sure. And I think that I would love to work
That's what I love about LA though, because I feel like each and every area, it like, has their own like coming of age moment. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like back in the day, Silver Lake wasn't really a thing. Wasn't it like more dangerous or something like that? Like, it wasn't really like, a place that you can live safely. And now it's like, oh my God, gorge, all these little shops, like they've done new things. Same with Echo Park. Like I used to on the pandemic, I used to go to Echo Park Lake all the time because I'm outside, And it's gorgeous and amazing. But then there was just like sketch little parts there. But I feel like now, I feel like it's all about the migration of like the homeless people. Like I feel like they're moving up. They always go this way. And then when they get caught, they'll go back that way.
Yeah.
Like in West Hollywood, like I've been seeing more. I've been here for over 10 years and I've been seeing more around than usual. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like I used to walk everywhere. Like I didn't care, but now you just never know. Like
it's really unfortunate with the crime and everything.
Have to feel this way.
It's really unfortunate. And I hope that we can get a grip on it, and our government can do something about it.
Yeah, we don't need to be paying.
Not everybody can afford a building with a fucking door guy and all this shit.
Well,
like I run into my door, like I'm just like I'm going, like
Well, even then, we don't need to be paying, $3,000 a month. To,
that's the fucking case.
To step in human feces.
If I need mace where I'm going, I'm not going to pay, and I don't have a parking space.
Yeah.
Talking to you, I'm just kidding.
No, you can have you definitely can have a heart for homeless people, in their situation, but at times, you don't. You don't ever know why somebody's
dangerous,
on the street.
who's not.
Exactly.
Who's just a junkie, whatever.
Yeah, you just don't know, and that's something we all have to face. I remember the other day I was waiting for an Uber outside my house, and this guy walks by with his friend. They were obviously homeless, and I moved out of the way just because they were walking. But I was just being polite, and he goes, "Oh, it's because I have a tattoo," and I go, "I have tattoos too, bro.
That's the least of your problems, buddy."
Okay, I also have tattoos.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, you got to have a heart for homeless people. I mean, I really do, and I always try to give homeless people, if I have any sort of food or money or whatever it may be. But it's just, it's a problem we need to solve as a community. And I hope that we figure that out.
Yeah.
Maybe container homes for all.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
Well, do something, dude.
So it's like a container thing.
Dude, come on.
Just do something.
Oh, yes. Also, I was going to say, too, so you lived in San Francisco before here.
So I grew up in the Bay Area.
Oh, you grew up there?
Yeah, so I grew up in the East Bay.
Oh,
which is across the Bay Bridge. And I grew up in a town called Lafayette. It was a great place to grow up. And then I moved down to LA for college. So.
Oh, okay. So had you stayed in San Francisco, do you think that you would still be as intrigued? Because I feel like the way that stuff there is, it's not like, I feel like, it's even like the Painted Lady houses, they're all like these tall things. They're not like, they're up in the hills, but the hills in San Francisco are just different. I feel they're so much more dense.
Of course, yeah. Every city is different. And again, I fell in love with real estate because of these beautiful estates and architecture.
Right.
I love architecture. It's like my favorite.
What's your favorite style?
I love a contemporary modern.
Yep.
A warm modern, I think, is my
warm
personal.
Modern, I love that.
Yeah, warm modern is my favorite.
We'll do it.
Okay.
You know what we're talking about. After this, it's time. Exactly. We're right on schedule. Don't worry. But I like when you said warm modern. Sorry to cut you off, because I feel like some of these are way too. I'm like, bro, this is just, you're paying so much money to get this weird, juxtaposition of a very standard. It just doesn't seem luxurious to me.
Yeah.
When you said warm, I'm like, okay, I feel like that makes more sense.
You add in stone, you add in wood touches, you add in natural elements to a modern home, and I think it's really nice.
Is it more light wood now or darker wood, or a mixture of both? Because I feel like there's kind of a thing that's trending more toward light wood?
I feel like with light in general.
Yeah, I think just having a light open area is what people want. But again, preference, right? So it just depends on the person.
I love the indoor outdoor moments where like they have those like push door things, you know, they just slide open. It's
Yes.
like your house is one big ass sliding glass door. I'm like, that is for me, like that's like would be my dream home, is to have like indoor outdoor, because I'm from Florida originally too.
Yeah.
And like seeing those things, I'm like, damn, that shit's fucking dope. And it's just like progressing more and more. That's why I feel like, do you like have conversations with like architects and stuff like that too? Like, are you involved?
Of course. And also like, and designers too. I have some great interior designers that I always recommend to clients of mine that can transform a space.
Right. Like the staging, what they call, right?
Yeah, staging is when we prep the house for sale. But as far as interior design, so we can find a property and it could be staged a certain way, but they want to design it how they like.
Right.
And we have some amazing designers that we know that.
Fuck yeah.
Like Malgosia McDowell actually is one of the best designers that I know.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah, that's amazing.
She's a family friend, and she's done about 4 of our houses and several of my clients' houses. So.
Wow, I love that. That must be the most meticulous job. You know what I mean? Because like every little thing, people notice shit, dude. Like people notice every little thing. So that's really impressive.
Yeah.
So now is the time.
Okay.
Mimi, tell them about our segment that we do.
Fuck, marry, kill.
It's time.
Oh, here we go.
Not each other.
No, unfortunately.
So what are we doing?
Our one for today. Would you fuck, marry, or kill
Okay.
mid-century, craftsman, or modern?
Okay,
So
can you indulge on those actually?
Craftsman is like an old bungalow. You see them a lot in Pasadena.
Okay.
Very like, I don't know. You're the expert.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to answer the question first?
I feel okay. I guess answer the question, describe it, then I can bounce off.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Cool.
So let's see. Fuck, marry, kill. I would. I'm gonna say I would fuck a modern for sure.
I feel that.
I mean, like just like a sexy, as long as it's like a warm modern, for sure.
Right.
If it's a boring concrete modern, no. I would marry a mid-century. And I would specifically like a mid-century modern, because mid-century and mid-century modern are two different. After World War II is when mid-century modern became popular.
Feel that.
And I love, if you have a good mid-century modern house, the value and the amount of money you can actually get for the property is insane.
Wow.
Especially if it has a notable architect, like incredible. So yeah, for sure marry a mid-century modern. And then I would have to kill a craftsman. And I'll tell you why. Craftsman houses, while they have their own beauty in their own way, they typically have lower roofs, smaller spaces, built-in furniture. So like nooks and crannies that are like built in,
Right.
a lot of them. And it's just not particularly for me, sorry, but yeah.
Mid-century, can you just elaborate a little more for me what that really means and is? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, so mid-century was starting in the 1930s, I believe was the year the mid-century became popular, and it went through like the 1960s is when that style of property was really, really popular. You have a lot of wood design. You have A-frames that are some of the most popular mid-centuries. And just some great notable architects like Frank Lloyd Wright.
Right.
Who's one of the most famous ones.
Yeah,
So.
I've actually heard of that, which I'm proud of. I'm like, okay, I got something on there. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, so Memes, what's your vibes?
Well,
She's always a fucking loose cannon, this one. We'll see.
I would kill craftsman just because, I don't know, it's just old. I don't want to have sex with anything old.
Look at me. So there's diamonds in the rough, dude.
I
There's
would
diamonds in the
never
rough.
be a good sugar baby. I cannot do it. I'd rather break my butt in a 12-hour bartending shift. Anyway, I digress. Fuck modern because it's a good time.
Yeah.
And I would marry mid-century modern, just like you, Adam.
All right, cool. So we're on the same page.
We're on the same
Yeah.
page. I mean, there's like this killer Instagram account I follow, Take Sunset. I'm sure you're familiar with it. They have all the sunken living rooms, the wood paneling, all the fixtures. I fuck heavy with mid-century, so I definitely want to be with it the rest of my life.
Right. Okay. Well, mine's a little different, just like a little different. For me, I think that I would fuck Craftsman because, I like to get a little down and dirty sometimes. Like I like to, I don't know. I could do both. Like I always tell Mimi, like I can like be like bougie, but then I can also be like, piece of shit. Not saying Craftsman's a piece of shit, but like, I don't require the most.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm single.
They can be bougie.
Yeah.
They can be super, super cool.
Right.
But again,
I like want to take mushrooms and Craftsman. That's like the vibe. So I'm a settler, if you couldn't tell. And then I would, so that was fuck. So then I would marry mid-century because I feel like you said, the longevity, and I feel like that it just seems so cozy and like right. And the only reason why I would kill modern is just because, like I said, I don't feel comfortable. I go to these modern houses, I can't touch anything. I feel like I'm gonna break something. So that's why I would kill modern, just because it's just like, I love to check them out and check the vibes of it, but I don't think I could comfortably live in a modern house unless it's, contemporary modern? What'd you say? More modern.
And also that it speaks a lot to the people that know how to actually execute the design in modern,
Right.
Because I've seen a shit ton of modern houses that I'm just like, these just are not nice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, who wants this?
Yeah.
But if you get like a really dope, warm, sexy modern house, like
I know the way that you're described, like you really are. He is a seller, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you're getting me all fucking hot and bothered. Like I want to go check it out right now.
Well, you know what? If I could buy any house in LA, I would buy. I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, fine, I'll buy a Craftsman if that's what you got.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you make me want to buy a house. If I had $5 million and we could find some entry level
He's like,
house,
sweetie, you can't afford me. Thank you.
Where I'd have to ask $1 million over asking to even get it. I'd choose you.
Oh, well, even if not, I appreciate that so much. Even if you don't have $5 million, we can find a house for you at any price point, love.
He's like, don't worry, baby. I die. You're so good. Oh my God. Well, also we're going to say too, before we wrap, that if you are in that wheelhouse, because don't get us wrong, we do have friends that do have money.
We do.
Few and far between, but we do, sweetie. But if you want to give your handle.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
Adam Oof with AKG and Christie's International. My handle is just my name, Adam Oof, spelled OUF. And my information, email, and everything maybe will be in the
We'll list it.
Yeah, we'll put
credits.
One of these right here. We're not really the TikTokers that do swipe up. We don't know how to do that shit.
Yeah.
But it's going to be here somewhere.
We're elder millennials.
It's going to be here somewhere.
We're going to do what we can.
But Adam, thank you so much. Like you literally like gave us so much education on it. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if living in LA, I care more about that whole situation because I'm the same. Like when I first moved out here, I would drive all over Indoheny over here and I would just be fascinated. I'm like, wait, this exists? Like people can actually live in these crazy balcony all the way around. I'm like, this is absolutely insane.
It is.
And then I'll sit outside and wait till the guy comes out and see if he's alone.
Just go take a walk in the Beverly Hills Flats and open up your Hinge account or something.
Boom. Guys, you heard it here first.
That's the hot girl walk.
I will be there.
Yeah, hot girl walk.
Yeah, exactly. Like I live up the street. Where? Up the street. Anyways, where do you live?
Exactly.
Oh my God, I'm doing that. Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome.
Beverly Hills Flats, here I come,
We're
bitch.
all doing it.
I'm gonna find a husband, mama. I'm gonna find one, I promise. But you're laughing. Jeff is our editor is laughing. God.
Don't laugh. It's true.
Anyway, so we also do at the very end, we're gonna look in the center. We're gonna give this little flick off. You gotta flick it off. Thank you for the next episode, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Love you.
Bye.